Hi DIYers, Sterling with Alarm Grid here. Today we're going to show you how to program a Honeywell 5800CO wireless carbon monoxide detector. So we've shown you quite a few intrusion devices. We've also shown you some of the life safety devices that you can use with the LYNX Touch. So there are multiple types of protection that the LYNX Touch can save you from, and obviously buying the unit allows you to use any of the various sensors. So if you're going to pay for monitoring and have your system monitored, adding some extra types of sensors is a great way to get more value out of that monthly monitoring rate. Instead of just protecting against burglary, now we can protect against smoke detection, heat detection, and in this case, deadly carbon monoxide gas. Carbon monoxide is a odorless and colorless gas that you would have no idea is in the home until it's too late. This is a very critical life safety event, and in fact, many local jurisdictions are starting to require installation of carbon monoxides in new homes. Even if it's an old home, they're recommending that they get added. So this is a great way to add extra value to your system and protect your family or your business from deadly carbon monoxide gas. This device is very similar to the smoke and heats. You have a detector head and you have your mounting base with your tamper connection. This can be mounted to the ceiling or to the wall, and when it's closed up you have your detector. On the inside you have your CR123A 3-volt lithium battery, which provides power to the unit, and you have this little pull to connect tab. Once you slide that out, your sensor is live and active with power. You can see also on this device there's a date code of January 2015, and you have a replace by January 2011. So I can tell you these have end of life, all right? They only work for so many years, and in which case at that point you're going to want to replace your device. The smoke and heats don't have an end of life. As long as the chamber is clean, they will work into perpetuity, but you basically want to make sure that on your COs that you're not leaving these out in the field, meaning in the house or the business, beyond this replace by date. So now that we know how the 5800CO works, we're going to show you how to program it to your system. From your home screen, you hit Security, More, Tools, key in your installer code, and go to Program. From here, we're in System Programming, and we can go to our Zone section of programming and highlight with the down arrow until we get to our next available zone showing New. Any zone set to New means it's not set up yet. So if we go to New and click Edit, we're on our Zone 18 programming page. And from this page, we can program our serial number and set up our carbon monoxide detector. So to use the serial number, we can either key it in by highlighting serial number, and we have it in two spots here. We have a sticker, Alpha, A for Alpha 08632221. We also have this barcode sticker, A for Alpha 08632221. Keying that in, 08632221, and done will enroll it. You got to be very, very careful that you do not make a mistake when entering that 7-digit serial number. One digit off and this detector will not work. So now that we've keyed it in, loop number 1 is the proper loop to use. That is referenced in your installation guide. So we always recommend reading through this because it has good information on how to program the device, and you can see that it tells you to use loop number 1. And as soon as you have it set that way, then you're good to go. From there, we have to tell the panel how to respond when this particular device is active. So in our case, Honeywell has given us a very intuitive option of carbon monoxide detector. And you can see by selecting that device type, it only gives you one available response type, which is carbon monoxide. You really don't want to set up a carbon monoxide detector any other way. Because it's a life safety device, it should always be used in this manner. From here, we can program a zone descriptor. In this case, we're going to put it in our basement because that's where we have our option for actual carbon monoxide smoke entering the home. And that way, if that way, if this device is ever active, anyone that's near the panel would know where the emergency originated, and they would know not to go in the basement, or more importantly, exit the basement area as soon as possible. Go outside where there's fresh air, where there's no more emergency of carbon monoxide gas. Final thing you would want to choose is alarm report yes. That means that when this device is activated, it will send the alarm to the central station. Chime should be disabled. You really only want to have chime on door and window contacts. And then finally, we want to be supervised so that the panel will check for this device every 12 hours. And if it doesn't see the device, it will throw up a supervision trouble on zone 18, indicating that this device may be too far from the panel, there may be interference between the device and the panel, or the device may have gone bad, in which case, if there was a real carbon monoxide event, it wouldn't trigger to the alarm. If you had this set to unsupervised, you would have no idea that the panel had had an issue with the sensor until it's too late. So we always recommend supervised on any real protection zones. We've got to save it to lock in the settings for the basement carbon monoxide detector, and if we then snap the head, you twist it until it falls into place, and then you give it one more slight turn to lock it into place on the tamper. And if we exit to the home screen, we can test our programming by using our test button. It's very clearly labeled test or hush. This is the button to use to activate the alarm. In the normal condition, you'll see the green light flash, which just did, and in the alarm state, you'll see the red light come on. So what we're going to do to make sure we keyed in all the programming properly, proper loop number, proper serial number, proper parameters, we're going to press and hold this test button, and it will activate this device and this alarm system. So here we go. Press and hold. You can see the red light here. You can see the panel indicates a CO alarm, and you can hear the different noise that the carbon monoxide detector sets off. Typing in our disarm code of 1234.
Disarmed, ready to arm. Check zone.
Cancels the alarm and leaves it with a latched alarm trouble, so that if you did come home and you heard that sound, you would have an idea that it was a CO alarm. Disarming it leaves it up on the screen, so now you know, okay, the basement is the critical area where the carbon monoxide gas is existing. That way we make sure we get everyone out of the basement, and then we can disarm the system.
Disarmed, ready to arm.
The second disarm clears out the message of which alarm was activated. Once you understand which one it was, you want to take the system back to normal, and therefore we have verified that our 5800CO programming is right, and our wireless carbon monoxide detector will activate our LYNX Touch L5200 when needed. So we hope that video has been helpful. We invite you to subscribe to our channel, and if you have any other questions about this detector or this system, we invite you to email us support@alarmgrid.com.